Hello Pisces, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your Grand Occult reading for 2023. If you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what I'm feeling for you right now, Pisces, is that you're going to have some sort of like hindsight, 2020 perspective. It could be the idea of you figure out your name right here. Like, what does your name actually mean? What is the root origin of your name? Does it have a Latin meaning? Does it have a Greek meaning? And you're going to understand why your parents named you that. You're going to understand something right here, and it's going to like click with your entire life. So what do we need to know for the sign of Pisces? Let me get you one major arcana. You're starting to figure out things. You're starting to realize people aren't as dumb as they appear to be. We have the Fool. Yeah. Here's the thing. Foolish energy is what trumps everything. A lot of people think the Fool is a very young, naive, kind of like does his own thing. But what most people don't realize about the Fool is that it trumps all of the major arcanas and it trumps all of the minor arcanas, because everything is pulled to, the center of a black hole. And then when it's pulled into the center of the black hole, on the other side, things come out, right? So it's kind of like a time warp, and that's what the Fool is. It is the time loop of itself. So nothing can escape a black hole. That's not saying that it can't come out the other side something else, but nothing can escape its pull. Even light can't escape. And that's what people don't understand about the Fool a lot of the times, is that it is the most powerful because it's doing its own thing. It's like a black hole in space. It just wanders by, and if it gets pulled into the black hole, well, it's pulled into the black hole. So it is a blank slate. It's a brand new restart, because when it comes out of the other side, you don't know what it's going to be. Neither does the Fool. So it's not a dumb situation. It's not folly. It just doesn't know what's going on. But it knows that it can trump everything. It knows it can take the power of everything. So let's clarify this energy for you. So having a brand new situation, a brand new blank slate, a brand new restart within your life, you don't know what it's going to be. You don't understand, why you have to go through this. Why do you have to go through the time loop? You liked being that planet or that star out in space, then all of a sudden this black hole just comes wandering by and it sucks you in, and all of a sudden you're in like another dimension completely, and you're a water atom, whatever it is. So let's look at the Fool energy. What do we need to know? Yep, those cards want to come out. You have the Ace of Cups in reversed. You have the Ten of Wands upright, and you have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So here's the thing. You see a situation poured out, right? And with the Ten of Wands, you feel like you're carrying a very big burden for yourself. The problem is, the reason you're carrying this very heavy burden for yourself is because you have some sort of sadness. It's like a brand new opportunity never got a chance to get off of the ground. And now, because it never got off the ground, you're very bored and stagnant about a situation. You're still holding on to whatever this was. You're like, it can't possibly be over. I'm not going to move forward in a situation in my life because I want to keep this thing. But here's the thing. When the Fool says it's over, it's over. And that's what you have to be concerned about, Pisces, is that your sign just goes through life. It is the fish. It is the ebb and flow of life. It is the High Priestess, right? The High Priestess understands the Fool. The High Priestess understands that, when the Fool comes by, it's over. But there is a brand new opportunity. But you're holding on to the burdens, and Pisces, you're not someone who's supposed to hold on to the burdens. You're supposed to be one of the people who's like, it is what it is. Not being chained, not being trapped, and understanding that that is a new step within your life. When something doesn't work out, a new thing must appear. When something is sucked out into the black hole, something else has to come out. It's ripped apart, shred by shred, but at the end of the day, nothing can retain its shape inside of the black hole. It's ripped apart. So you're holding on to something that's already over, because when the Fool deemed it to be over, it's going to be pulled apart regardless. But with the King of Pentacles, it's like you're bored. You don't want to move away from the situation at all. So let's look at this Ace of Cups. What fell out? You have the Knight of Scepters. You have the Three of Knives. You were wanting to rush into a situation that just didn't work out for you. You saw something brand new, flashy. You wanted to rush after it, and it didn't work out, and now you're sad. You're sad because this opportunity that was presented to you never had a chance to get off of the ground. It was like a pie-in-the-sky dream. What's the Ten of Wands? You feel trapped with the Eight of Knives and the Empress. You feel stuck. But here's the thing. The Empress is greater than the Ace of Cups. So what you need to do is you need to drop the burden and walk away from the Eight of Knives. It's like you're purposefully staying in your own misery instead of wandering off and saying, you know what, there's a whole brand new world for me to explore. There's this whole empress that is out there. There's a whole country. Because that's what you have to understand about, you know, the Eight of Knives. She is stuck to the Eight of Knives, just like you could be stuck carrying this burden of a past regret or a past disappointment. But you have the opportunity to take off the blindfolds, walk away from the Eight of Swords and say, you know what? I can continue to keep moving forward when I'm ready to. But don't stay stuck and don't stay stagnant. What is this King of Pentacles? The Five of Knives and the Nine of Knives. I feel like you feel like a laughing stock a little bit. And I feel like that's kind of what's, you know, embarrassing for you. You feel like people are laughing at you because you rushed into something, got your heart broken. Now you're stuck carrying that burden. You're like, it's kind of like the song, or not the song, but the movie Carrie. They're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you. Here's the thing. Carrie got her revenge in the end anyway. And that's what I'm seeing for you, is that the Fool said, you know what? That wasn't going to work out. Let's just suck it all up. And you're still holding on to it. You want to, you know, just keep it all together. You're holding on to it because of pride. You don't want to move forward because you feel like people laughed at you. And that's what's ultimately, you know, with the Nine of Knives giving you the anxiety. You're actually being very stoic with the King of Pentacles in reverse. He's sitting there like this on his throne in this artwork, and he has his eyes closed. He's acting like nothing is bothering him, but something is deeply bothering him. He's holding on to past regrets. But if you just dropped it and said, you know what, screw it. It is what it is. And moved on with your life and moved forward into the Empress and moved forward into the abundance and saw the great things that were planned out for you on the other side of the loop, things will be great for you. You'll be moving on to the Empress. So you have the Two of Scepters, a brand new opportunity, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Lord of Skulls upright. You have a brand new opportunity to attain completion and be much happier on your throne if you just allowed the Fool to do what it was going to do. And here's the thing. You're sitting there saying, well, the Fool has no rhyme or reason. There was no reason for that to end. I should have been able to have it. But you're not seeing it clearly. The reason the Fool took it away was it was just the Ace of Cups. It was a brand new opportunity, but you had the opportunity to move forward on the Empress. It's like saying, why do you want this cup right here? Yes, it's handed to you from the universe, but it wasn't going to work out. And you had the opportunity to move forward on the Empress somewhere else. You have the Daughter of Scepters, you have the Ten of Scepters, and you have the Seven of Skulls. By you holding on to this past thing, by you holding on to the Page of Scepters, it's really delaying your growth with the Seven of Skulls. It's kind of like, I gave this message to Aquarius right here, except it's a little bit different for them. When you have a field, right, and after you've picked everything out of the field, you can burn it down. And when you burn down a field, what will happen is all that ash will fertilize the soil and you can grow something the next year, right? So what I'm seeing for you is that maybe you didn't even get a crop. Maybe a bunch, you know, hail, weather, the squirrels, whatever, ate your crop. And now you're just like, well, I don't want to grow anything ever again because that was a horrible year to grow stuff. I'm just going to stay stagnant. when all you have to do is light the match and burn that field and then try again. That's it. You're just delaying yourself and staying stuck in the misery, looking at all these dead things, and you're missing out on growth right here because you're saying, well, it happened once before, what's to stop it from happening again? Well, the fool knows, well, to an extent knows that, through destruction, something new can happen. If at first you don't succeed, try again somewhere else with something else. Or maybe on the same thing. But don't just stare at all these dead stalks when, that's nutrition for plants that could, help with the next crop next year. The Six of Skulls, the Eight of Skulls, and the Prince of Skulls. What's being offered to you is a brand new opportunity to become a master of something, to work on something. That will give you some sort of completion within your life with the Knight of Skulls. The Knight of Skulls is, a protector of the Pentacles. He carries the King's gold from one point to another point. So it's like you're being offered the opportunity to move your skulls from one place to another place. This could also be like the concept of crop rotation. Maybe you're focused on one thing, you're hyper-fixated on it, but you need to focus on something else. And that's the thing, Pisces. You can have multiple things within your life. You could be, a dancer, a singer, a runner, whatever it is, right? And you can have all of these different things. And maybe you're hyper-focused on this one thing that didn't work out for you instead of looking at all of your other talents. It's saying focus on a different talent right here. Focus on a different avenue of your life. The Lovers, the Nine of Scepters, and the Judgment. Yeah, focusing on a different avenue right here. That's blessed for you. The Nine of Scepters represents you feel like beat down, but that's the Judgment because you survived. Because you've grown back stronger. That's what you need to understand is that, a failure isn't always a failure. It just means that you can recover from that and be a stronger person. What is this Judgment energy? The Prince of Knives with completion. Judgment over the world. An old cycle has ended and a new cycle has to begin. That's the harsh truth with the Prince of Knives. You survived whatever it was in the past. Yeah, you feel like people are laughing at you. You feel like, a mockery, whatever. But here's the thing. Don't just get sad, get better. I feel like that's the problem right here, Pisces, is that you have the opportunity to get better from a failure from your past. Sorry, my cat's growling at the door. What do you want? I think he just had a nightmare. Anyway. One more. The Emperor, the Seven of Scepters, and the High Priestess. Hindsight is 20/20. I don't think you're realizing that the Emperor was always going to block you off from the situation anyway. And maybe that's what you have to come to the conclusion to. Is that this opportunity that you really wanted was never going to go anywhere because hindsight 20/20 is that someone at the top was going to block you off from it regardless. Or a situation was going to be blocked off regardless. And so the Fool came along, bebopping along, sucked it all in and said, all right, so you're going to do something else completely now. But you're feeling it's a failure, but it was never going to work out anyways. And maybe that's what you want to hear was, well, what could it have been? Well, it couldn't have been anything because the Emperor was going to be very tyrannical and block you off from the situation regardless. This could be in a love reading too. Let's look at it from a love perspective. Say you saw this person, you really wanted to date them. Maybe you did go out on a couple of dates, and then all of a sudden, they stopped talking to you. They ghosted you. And now you're like, well, I told everyone, I was going on a date. I showed people their picture, whatever the situation is. But what you're not seeing is that that person had never gotten over their ex. That person may have had a really crazy ex. That person was never really wanting to date you regardless. They were just wanting to get back at their ex, and now they're back with their ex. Like, it's very shitty, but that's the situation for you. It was never going to work out. But you have an opportunity for something to work out. You're just stuck. Are people actually making fun of you, or is this all in your head? Two of Cups with the Fool. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Maybe they see you as being foolish. Well, it is what it is. The devil. But the Fool saw the devil. It was going to be a very bad situation anyway. And here's the thing. If people are making fun of you, if people are, whatever, then you're holding on to your pride, and those people shouldn't be in your life anyway. Because you're chained to a situation where you're trying to impress other people and trying to, make other people feel proud of you instead of you feeling proud for yourself. You're going from a very base, egotistical thing. And the devil wants you to stay stuck in a situation where you feel bound. The Hermit, illumination. The Seven of Knives. Tricky, deceit. The Ace of Scepters. I feel like the situation just saw you as, brand new, fresh meat. You got tricked into it, whatever the situation was. But it's over. So what else for you? You have the Daughter of Knives, the Ace of Knives, and the Four of Scepters. Pay attention to the new opportunity that comes in that can bring you victory. That's what will help you celebrate. And that's how you rise above this situation right here, Pisces. The Ten of Knives coming out with the Tower. It could be very hard for you to accept that you had a defeat within your life, or admit that. Admitting that you faced a Tower moment. Admitting that you faced an L, a loss. I feel like that is the point for you. Is that maybe the universe wants you to accept your defeats, accept your wins. I feel like this is a big blow to you, though. Yeah, it's the Ten of Swords. It's the Ten of Swords while the Tower comes crashing down. That's what it feels like, anyway. Maybe that is what it is. But you're going to have to come to that conclusion and accept that. The Prince of Grails, the Moon, the Lord of Knives. And be a little bit smarter next time and see the moon for what it is. If you don't have all the information up front, then you need to ask questions and pierce through everything. Don't just take your cup into the moonlight. Ask questions. Use your intellect right here. The Four of Grails, the Queen of Scepters, and the Chariot. But you have the opportunity that's still being offered to you. It just doesn't look appealing because you have your eyes closed. But once you open your eyes and you actually look at it, once you open your eyes and see it for what it is, this new opportunity, it does have the Queen of Scepters and the Chariot behind it. It does represent a victory. You do have a victory. You just have to come to the conclusion. Took a loss. People made fun of you. Whatever. Shouldn't be in your life anyway. Unchain yourself. Go on to a new situation, a new adventure. You will have victory somewhere else. You'll be able to celebrate. You'll have clarity. That's the balance. The ebb and flow. You have the opportunity for a major victory. Just like you had an opportunity for a major defeat, you have an opportunity for a major victory, okay? That is the balancing of the scales, working with that foolish energy. Destruction comes. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works for other people, sometimes it doesn't work for you. It is what it is. So let's look at your spellcasting oracle deck. The Chariot does represent a major victory, though. It's just up to you to accept the new opportunity. It's up to you to just light that fire down or light that field down. Allow it to, you know, soak the nutrition into the soil and regrow. And you'll grow something much better. It's just, you know, maybe it's your first time farming. Maybe it's your first time growing a crop. Maybe you really wanted to, you know, impress people, but you have answers and you have friendships. The answers will come through your friends. The people who are there to support you will always have the answers. You can connect to your friends. They will be a support system for you. I think what you're looking for is the rhyme or reason why it happened, right? You're just looking for the answers. And sometimes you just have to understand that the Fool doesn't apply answers. It just does what it's going to do. Sometimes within your life, you are just going to have major defeats. There is no rhyme. There is no reason behind it. There is nothing. But perhaps you're still searching for the answers before you can move on. Maybe that's what you're looking for closure. The Seven of Cups and the Six of Skulls. I kind of feel like in a way you're grasping at straws though, with the Seven of Grails, with the Six of Skulls. It's like you're wanting to have, you know, a major revelation revealed to you, but I don't think that that's what's going to happen. I think it's just, it is what it is. The Ace of Cups coming out. You want to know why the Ace of Cups turned out. But here's the thing. The Ace of Cups was an illusion. That's the answer for you. It was never going to work out. It was an illusion. And so the universe came by and took it away. Remember, the Seven of Grails is having all these opportunities that are put in front of you. One of them is real and 6 of them are fake. And I feel like you just grabbed onto a grail that was fake. And when you grabbed onto it, it poured out because it wasn't real. And you're wondering why it wasn't real. Because it was an illusion, Pisces. That's why. Just like, you know, I was giving you that dating analogy. Sometimes people date people just to get back at their ex because they want to get back with their ex. Sometimes you're used as a rebound. You don't understand why it happens, but you were just the person who was there. And next time, you have to have more discernment and more logic behind it. And don't give up on, you know, love or anything within your life. Just understand that sometimes the cups are fake. Dragon, emergence, crow, sovereignty. You'll have the opportunity to emerge sovereign, though. You have the opportunity to come back like a dragon and really show who you are. Show your sovereign energy. No one can really fight a dragon. Like, no one even, like, they don't even exist. But if they did exist, no one would want to fight one. Dragons are also very sovereign animals. You're going to have like a grand emergence. You're going to recover from this if you so choose to. Wake up from whatever this is and move forward with victory. Let's look at your awakened oracles. Unseen, La Luna. Here's the thing, the moon hides a lot of treachery behind it. Unseen moon. There is something in the moon that you aren't seeing. Let's look at that. The Four of Skulls and the Strength card. I kind of feel like you need to have a rein in on your emotions right here. You're a very emotional creature, Pisces. So you want to give out your cup of love to people because that is the Knight of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups is walking into the moonlight. It's like you want to water the moon, or you want to water like this very unsure situation, but the universe is telling you, stop trying to water a fantasy. Stop trying to give your Four of Skulls away and hold on to them with strength. That's the main thing for 2023. Looking through deception, recovering from bad situations, and emerging again. Maybe this is what you're working on. Maybe this is what you're working towards. And if it happens in 2023, you have a really bad situation occur, and you take a really bad, just like, well, fuck, that was not what I planned out for. Be a little bit wiser as to why. Don't grasp at the illusions. You need to see something, because I know that you just are a free spirit and you want to have fun. But with free spirits, it just represents, you still have to be smart about a situation. Like a free spirit shouldn't just run in and, jump off a waterfall. A free spirit can just be someone who's free, but understands how life works. And I think that's what you have to understand, Pisces, is how life works. Pisces do have the opportunity to become billionaires. And a billionaire could be like, you know what? I am a free spirit. I could go to eat breakfast in Japan and then fly over to, wherever and have dinner there. That's a free spirit, Pisces. Not just, chasing after false illusions. You have Berkana, Birch, creativity, new ideas, birth and nourishment, mother energy and inner growth. You have Nadhas, need, self-restraint, disappointment, avoidance of greed, patience, and simplification. The spiritual meaning is asceticism, transcendence, and the soul. That's the thing. You need to have self-restraint or you're going to have disappointments. You need to have self-control right here. You have to have patience on things. And I know you want to, rush out and fall in love because that feels good. You just want to whatever, right? But you also need to have self-restraint, because not everyone has your best interest out there, Pisces. Some people just want to water their own garden. Some people just want to use you so they can get what they want and fulfill them, and that's it. Rado, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. Owl, wise seeing, wise action. Remember, you are the oldest of the zodiac sign. All these tricks that keep being offered to you, why do you keep falling for them? And maybe that's what the universe wants you to understand right here, is that if you fall for a trap, the universe is going to send the fool to suck everything into that black hole. And so if you don't fall for the trap, then you're safe. But you have to have that wise seeing, wise action, because you've been through this loop before. You've been through this cycle before, several times already. So why are you falling for old tricks? Why are you falling for illusions? You're the high priestess. You're the hanged man. Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. Sometimes you just have to accept the L, right? I think that's what will really heal you right here, is understanding and accepting that sometimes you get fooled. However, you wanted to believe in the situation. You really wanted to believe that it was meant for you. You really wanted to believe it was good. Okay, well, you got played. But that doesn't mean that's the end. It just means you're going on to something new, transformed into something different. And you know what? When you finally come out the other side of the loop, right? You might not just be little old Pisces anymore. You might not even be a star. You might just come out the other side a dragon on a different dimension, being, a sovereign thing. And maybe that's what you have to understand right here, is that you're holding on to disappointment when in reality you could just transform by going through this loop. When it rips everything apart and it puts everything back together on the other side, something completely magnificent. And I feel like that's the situation for you, Pisces, is that there is something completely magnificent on the other side. All you have to do is accept it, drop the burden, allow the universe in this time loop to just rip it all apart, to reforge you into something new. So anyway, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.